Okay, so how are we gonna start this? We're gonna start this like this. Okay. If I'm not here, or if you want a better explanation, talk to me later. Okay? This is a pre-recorded message, and just to go step by step of how this works. Okay. Your first ability is going to be experimental tech. Okay? The reason why you're going experimental tech is so that when you shoot your disruptor shot, you gain railgun charge, okay? This is so that at the beginning you can be a consistent damage dealer with your railgun. This will require a little bit of aim, but I believe that over time you're going to get used to this. If you don't like having to aim, you can switch it with commotion cycle. Commotion cycle just makes it so your charge shot just refunds your disruptor shot based off if how much charge you have on your charge shot. So basically, if you go in here, if I use the charge shot right there, see I'm at 100. Well, if I charge it and I hit something, oh, that's bad. Okay, did you see how my E went down on a lower cooldown? So let's get charged, and I'm gonna show you. Okay.
Railgun powered and ready to fire.
Okay, I did it. Do you see how it went down from 13 to 7?
That's just
I
embarrassing.
shoot 35. You see how it went down from 3 to 1? That's basically what commotion cycle is doing. Okay. So in case you want to gain your disruption shot faster, you can go for this first. But I recommend going experimental tech just for the fact that you can use your disruption shot and you can learn how to aim with the railgun charge first. Okay? But if you want, you can go commotion cycle first, and I will not blame you. Just know that means that you're gonna have to aim with your left. You're gonna have to aim with your regular shots before you can fill this up, and you have to hit something to use this commotion cycle. If you just start with experimental tech, you should be fine for a bit by the fact that it will slow them down and give you railgun charge, so that you can hit them with the railgun charge. So you can get used to this process. Okay, but I would personally, in my opinion, I would recommend experimental tech and then commotion cycle. But if you want, you can flip them around if you want. But this is how I would do it. After you get your first experimental tech, okay, or after you get your first power, the first 3 items you're gonna want in this build are these first 3 early game items. Okay, you're gonna get ability power, power playbook, you're gonna get shady spectacle, and you're gonna get compensator. The reason why you are getting these 3 is because weapon power will help increase your railgun alt fire, which is your railgun shot and your railgun damage, and your ability power right here is going to increase your disruptor shot, which is
Clear out.
okay, which is that.
Railgun
You want
charge.
ability power for that, and you want weapon power for this and this.
I'm on my game
Okay.
now.
These first 3 are what you're gonna get at the beginning, and you will always have enough money to buy these 3. What ability lifesteal does is that whenever you hit something with your
Dodge this.
shot, you will heal over
Railgun
time.
powered and ready to fire.
Sadly, oh wait, I can injure myself just to show you. Hit me. Okay, you see how I'm injured? Well, if I
Railgun
hit them
charge
with, if
hold.
I hit them with my disruptor shot, so let me get injured.
Area denial. Railgun
No,
charge.
it's not working. Why is it not working? Okay, so basically, what's supposed to happen is that when you hit them with your
Breaking them down.
when it's doing damage,
Double
it's supposed to heal you. That's basically what ability lifesteal is, but for some reason, it is not proc. Oh, it's not proccing because I don't have any. Here, let me show you how this works. So if I
I'm
have
still at
the
full
ability
power.
lifesteal and I do damage,
Clear out.
you see how it's slowly
Railgun powered and ready to fire.
That's what
Double
ability lifesteal is. And that would be good to help you get consistent with the ability life skill. It's just so that you can sustain yourself a bit so you can do other stuff. You will always be able to buy these 3 at the beginning no matter what. But over time, you want to switch these out for something better, okay? So in case you don't have enough money for something else, I think you should have enough money by the time the first round is finished to buy this. But in case you have extra money, but you want to buy something that's blue, you can go for custom stock, multi-tool, or energized bracers. These will always be in the blue area. So custom stocks right here, energized bracers is right here, and multi-tool is right here. But in case you don't want to go looking for it, they're in this early game build, that in the code that I sent you. Okay, if you ever want to use the code, you will just basically press import a build and you type in the code. But these late game items right here are things you want. Okay, these are the things that you want to build late game. By the time you reach round 3, you should have at least 3 of these. Or if you want, you can just have it like this. You should have 3 of these. By the time you reach round 4, you should have all 4. Okay? By the time you reach round 5, in case you guys are kind of equal, you should have enough to buy this. And maybe buy this, but this is kind of expensive. So you might have to buy this last. Do you see how we have 50 ability power and 10% weapon power? That means that it's just going to be boosted a little bit extra. So if I hover over this, do you see how my railgun has a 10% damage boost? Well, since it has a damage boost, it's at 10 right now, but it's not supposed to be at 10. This also is at 23 to 11.6. You can also see how Disruptor Shot has 135 per second. That's not normal. But we can see that it is increasing the damage. This doesn't work for all heroes. I've tested it out, but thankfully it shows on Sojourn's Sojourn's kit when you do this in the training ground. I noticed that for Zarya and for other characters, sometimes it won't show up the damage over time or the increase for these. So you just have to, you don't have to worry about it, but in case you want to check, this is one way to check for Sojourn's damage, since it works for her. I'm saying that you need these late game items, but if you want to change the build, you can. These are just the items I would recommend for this build if you want to build a Disruptor Shot build. And personally, I would recommend something over Champion's Kit. What I would personally recommend is Cyber Venom, because if they have a lot of heals, you can apply a 30% healing reduction, which would make it harder for them to heal, which will stack with the DPS passive. I don't know DPS passives in Stadium, but this ability right here is really good if they have a lot of heals. Or you just want to make it so they die faster to your shots, or to your teammates, or something else. It gives you less ability power than if you use Champion's Kit, but the thing is, it has a buff, or an ability buff, such as applying healing reduction, which is really helpful if you want to help your team kill people faster. But if you just want to carry, you can use Champion's Kit. It is a lot more expensive to use Champion's Kit, because you can see it's 14,000 here, but for Cyber Venom it's 10,500. I'd personally recommend Cyber Venom if you want a cheaper build cost, which is 57,000 final cost. But if you were to buy a Champion's Kit, it'd be really expensive. It'd be 60,000. Personally, I would recommend Cyber Venom, but if you want to carry, you can go Champion's Kit. I'm going to leave Champion's Kit in here because I'm not sure if you want to carry or if you want to help your team more. So I'm putting Champion's Kit in here for you. If you want to change it, you can go to build, you can right-click experimental tech, you can press edit, and you could remove stuff by right-clicking, and you can also add something else into it. So you can press like Cyber Venom, you can click on it, it would add it into your thing, and in case you want to move it around, you can drag it with your mouse. Or if you want, you can just delete stuff by pressing right, and you can just left to add it onto here. Or like left click to add it on here, and you can just edit the build afterwards. Like, I don't know, in case you want gadgets instead, you can put gadgets on it. And if you save it, it'll save on here and you'll be able to see it. Okay? I don't use the gadgets personally. If you want to use a gadget, that's up to you. Personally, I think a stat boost is a lot better, although I do know that gadgets are a lot helpful in certain conditions, like the refresher gadget, which is very expensive, but it reduces your ability cooldowns, which means you can use disruptor shot a lot more consistently every 60 seconds, okay? It's not every time you respawn, it's every 60 seconds. You need to assign the button if you want this, okay? If you want to use this... Oh, it didn't... Oh, it is safe. In case you want to use this, my button is mouse 5. So if I press mouse 5, it does it. But if you want to have this control, you would go to Controls, Stadium, and right here, use Gadget. You want to assign a button right here. You don't need this in case you don't want to use gadgets. But if you want to use gadgets, you would need to assign a button. It doesn't assign you a button at the beginning. It will assign you nothing. Oh, I guess it assigns you 3. Well, I didn't have it at 3. It was basically empty. Oh, probably because I have 3 for something. Oh my god. I think 3 was probably used for something. I need to go adjust that. Oh my god. Okay, let me put that as mouse 5 again. I'll go fix that later. I'm pretty sure it's like an emote or something.
Happy to help. You're welcome.
Yeah, it's probably an emote, so I need to... let me go fix it. You know what? Don't mind us. You can skip this part. Thanks. 3. Okay. Perfect.
Thanks. Happy to help.
Perfect. Okay. But in case you want to edit the build or add gadgets, you can do that. I don't like gadgets personally, so I'm not going to add that for you. But if you want, you can edit the build that way. Now let me just put the other stuff back. This is probably gonna look different because I already sent you the photos for this build. So if it's in the wrong position, that's because it's a different code. I don't know. Okay, now let's go back to powers. I just wanted to help you get set up for your items because I'm pretty sure that's gonna be important for you. Now, when you get your 3rd power, the reason why you want enhanced targeting system is because during overclock, what's going to happen is that your primary fire will automatically target enemies. Think of it as like Soldier ult. So basically, you know how when you have Soldier ult, it has a visor and it automatically aims at people? This is really good at that. And also, it just helps you be consistent during battle. You might have you still worry about getting shot down, but it helps you be able to shoot stuff that you can't shoot normally, okay? And during overclock, you'll also get railgun that automatically charges for you. So, during your ult, you will be able to proc your first 2 powers no matter what. And this is just to make it so you can shoot people who are flying in the sky or just have crazy movement. It's just to help you kill those people or just to help you with your aim a bit. So we have this power right here, okay? Enhanced target system. What basically means that when I press my ult, which is Q for me,
This ends now.
there's like a thingy on them. So I'm just aiming anywhere.
Double 2.
It does not affect your
Cooling down.
Railgun
charge.
Your ult shooting thing or your railgun shooting. You still have to aim with that, okay? Do not assume that this thing is going to help you aim your railgun. This is not going to help you aim your railgun. It's just going to help you
Double kill.
Okay?
This ends now.
But it does do railgun. You have to aim. Okay?
Double
Railgun.
vaporized.
Oh. Yeah. If it looks different, just know because I did change it a bit. But yes, I personally would recommend Cyber Venom, but in case you want, you can use Champion's Kit. It will give you more damage. Okay? Look, okay. Cyber Venom, if I look at the kit, does 144 per second at 60% ability power. Okay? But if I have Champion's Kit, you can see that it does 167 instead. That's because it's actually affecting it based off of ability power. And in case you want to make sure if it's affecting it based off of ability power, you can hover over this and it'll tell you, Disruptor Shot, that it'll be affected by ability power. You can do that for any hero. This right here works for any hero. You can look at it to see what their ability, or like what affects certain abilities. Okay? This is very important. Now, Hard Stuck is going to be your fourth power. You can see that it affects your Disruptor Shot, but the reason I'm placing it in the fourth slot instead of the third slot is because your fourth slot is meant to improve or make your powers consistent. So let's say that I had it like this, okay? And we can see that this is my normal build before the last game. You'll only get this fourth power in the last game. You'll never get it in any other scenario. Most likely your build is going to end with these three. Or two, depending on how fast you win the game. But in case you reach the fourth round, you want something that makes you more consistent or buffs what you have. Okay? You do not want to add something new to your thing. You can add something new, but the thing is, you're adding so much to your kit, there's too much stuff in your kit that you're not going to remember everything that's going to happen in it. You want to stick it to a few powers that does specific stuff. Like if you do this one, Conductor Chase, generates 25% more railgun charge. Railgun charge decays 75% slower. That could be a good option. But you don't want to do something like, during Power Slide, Railgun restores 100% of your max ammo every 1 second. Great, that could help you make it so you can hit a lot more with your regular aim. But the problem is, you're using Power Slide, which is a new ability, well, a normal ability that's in your kit. It's just basically for mine it's left shift. But basically that will restore your ammo, but you don't want to have to rely on a new ability for your fourth slot. You want to use something that helps your powers that are right now, or helps you become consistent. And Hard Stuck is good, because basically it already improves on your experimental tech and what you're aiming for in this build, Disruptor Shots. Okay? So I would personally put this as a fourth slot. These two, or this one right here, Enhanced Targeting System, is just to help you become more consistent mid-game to close to last game. This, let's say that if you were to have it like this, basically you'll be all based on your Disruptor Shot, but you won't be consistent in anything else. So you may
Area
do
denial.
Disruptor Shot, scare Disruptor Shot back.
I'm on my game. Double
now.
doesn't get better
We have
than
it.
that.
Now
Dodge
stick on
this.
So like all your
Railgun
builds,
powered and ready to
I know that's what you're looking for in your build, but personally, you want your build to spread over two things, but you don't want it to spread over more than two things. So I would personally recommend to have this, so that you can become more consistent with your ult, in case you have your ult, and you can become better in team fights that's just not Disruptor Shots. And then in case you reach the last round, you can add this afterwards. It's like kind of like a small benefit to your already good build. Okay? Shit. Yeah, this is how I would set up your build in case you want to try something. If you want, you can mix and match different stuff. In case you didn't like, I don't know, Commotion Cycle, you can change that slot for something else. Just know when you remove something, when you're in the edit page, it will remove it and push everything downwards by 1. Means that when you add something new, it'll add it at the end. If you want, you just drag it. Oh, it's not letting you drag it. Okay, well then you would have to restart all the way down. You would have to remove all of them and then just add them back on, or I don't know. Or if you want to fix the build, you can back. Okay. This is how I would set up your build, though, just so that you have something set up. And just know, I don't know if I talked about this earlier, but okay, remember, late game, these are your 4 major perks, okay? No matter what, you want to build these 4. So you want to build CAF Calibrator, Lial's Logistics Data, Superflexor, and Liquid Nitrogen. These 2, you want to build towards the end, or if you have enough cash. You want to build Catalytic Crystal, Cyber Venom. Again, you can switch Cyber Venom for Champion's Kit, which is ability right here, Champion's Kit. And these two are flex slots. Like these two are actual flex slots in case you don't have enough money for your late game build. So let's say like I don't know, you don't have enough for these three yet. You can just build these three. You probably have cash for them. Okay. You do not have to use these three flex slots. You can just have these three, but in case you don't have enough money, like for the last one, and you don't like these three options, you can look for something else, okay? I won't judge you. The build is just used as a recommendation in case to help you make your build, but personally, I use these as to set my build up for me. But in case you want, you can, I don't know, put something in the last one that you might want more. You might want energy leech more. That's fine. Just know that, again, you're going to have less ability power, which is fine. This is a rare. Just know that rares usually want to switch for something better unless it's like one of these perks. You want to buy Nano Cola because it's cheaper, that's fine. That's okay. You want to, I don't know, kill things that are flying airborne easier. You can use this if you want. Again, this is ability damage. So just know that your weapon power or your regular shooting is not going to be affected by this. So you would probably want something like this right here. This thing is pretty good in case you want to hit them with your regular aim. But again, remember, this is a green. You want to switch it for something better, like maybe this, which increases your weapon damage. This, and this do more damage to flying characters, if you can hit them. But personally, these four right here should be your main build, and these two should be the things you use to fill it. In case you want to, you can switch these around for other stuff. Yeah, I think that's about everything. If there's static in this, too bad.